Yes, Mr. Voloyi.
As a court case, my lord, the matter stood down yesterday for the continuation of cross-examination
Yes.
by Mr.
Ngomezulu, yeah.
on behalf of accused number 1.
Okay, Mr. Ngomezulu.
I see that Advocate Mishololo is not here.
Where is she?
As it is the court, my lord. She requested that I should convey the message to the court that there was an agent commitment that she needed to attend to.
There was an agent?
There's an agent commitment that she needed to go attend to, and then requested me to stand in for her.
So you're standing in her stead? You are standing in her stand?
Yes. Yes, my lord.
You're substituting her?
No, I'm not substituting her, my lord. I am representing her in absentia. In her absentia.
Okay, fine.
As it is the court, my lord.
English language, eh? Standing in her stead. You've never heard of it?
No, my lord.
Okay.
We learn every day.
Stick around. You'll learn that.
As it is the court.
Thank you. I see Mr. Sibanda is amused. Yes, Mr. Ngomezulu.
Thank you, madam. Morning, Mr. House. So, yesterday we ended I ended my cross-examination on the cell phone device that was last recorded at Fosloras 4 minutes past 5, and on the 27th or on the 27th of October, if not the 29th of October, that cell phone was for the first time after the 26th of October re-registered on the towers of Fosloras. Is that correct?
This one was the next Kuruma Makaraku lapha ukusetshenziswa eduze kwethawa yase Fosloras ngo-1704 bayagcina kubona iphinde iregister ngomhla 29 October athi yebo kunjalo.
The question that I want to pose now is, this cell phone, if it was not in Fosloras on the day Senzo Meyiwa was killed, and this cell phone is associated with accused number 3, or is registered in the name of accused number 3, who else do you think might have been in possession of that phone without accused number 3?
As a court case, my lord, we object to that question. We submit that the witness is being asked to speculate. The speculation will be of no assistance to the court. In any case, that is not something that falls within his knowledge. We submit that it's an unfair question.
Yes, Mr. Ngomezulu.
My lord, I submit with due respect that I asked this question with the full knowledge that this cell phone was registered in the name of accused number 3.
But your question, oh well.
May I rephrase it, madam?
Okay, fine. All right.
May I rephrase it with due respect? Mr. House, let me take you back again on your examination in chief. You confirmed that this number belongs to accused number 3, correct?
That's according to my knowledge, yes.
Wathi uthe lo makhalekhukhwini lo ukamsola wesithathu wathi yebo ngolwazi lwami.
And according to your evidence, this cell phone, you said it communicated with accused number 5, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Wathi ke lolu cilo uthe sikhulume no number 5 wathi yebo.
And if we are talking about accused number 3, we are talking about Mr. Mncube. Do you agree?
That's correct.
Wathi umsola wesithathu bamnqoba wathi yebo.
Do you know him here in court? Do you see him here in court?
1, 2, 3. Must be the one in the middle. I don't know. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's correct.
Wathi hayi kufanele kuyilo ophakathi nendawo la enkantolo.
And accused number 5 is the last one on the row.
That's
Wathi
correct.
umsola wesihlanu kilo segcineni.
So we talk about the people that we can see, correct?
That's correct.
Wathi khuluma ngalabantu ababona wathi yebo.
And with your evidence saying accused number 3 and number 5, when you were taken by the prosecution or by my colleague in respect of the 3 transactions that registered on the 26th of October, you mentioned only 3 transactions on the 26th of October. Can you recall that?
That's correct.
Wathi akhumbula yini ukuthi sikhulume ngama-transaction amathathu mhla 26 October wathi yebo.
And you are the analyst of this data, correct?
That's correct.
Wathi yena uhlaziya le data wathi yebo.
What actually made you? Because I believe when you did this analysis, you went through all the recordings or the transactions in the 205, correct? You started from page 1 up to the last page, correct?
Wathi ukuhlaziya kwakho waqala ekhasini lokuqala waze ufika kulokugcina kunjalo.
Just one thing. Are we looking at number 27727668169?
That's correct, yes.
I never said only 3 entries. That was for accused 2 that we were talking about yesterday, my lord. That three calls were for accused 2. I never said how many entries were made on the 26th for accused 5.
No, I'll correct Mr. Post. I don't like the court to agree with you if we haven't agreed on that. I'll take you on the records. I've even highlighted, you only talked about the communication between accused number 3 and number 5 on the 26th of October 2014.
My lord, according to my records, there was only 1 call on the 26th of October. All the other calls were previous, after. That's where when I started in evidence, or when I started with this statement, there's all the calls that was made. It's on my statement, my lord.
Wathi ingcingo esisuke umsola wesithathu kuya umsola wesihlanu mhla ka-26 ku-October kube ucingo olulodwa.
I just misplaced my where I actually wrote those. You even specify about times of their communication. There were 3.
That was for accused 2 when I was crossed by, or I was in chief with Advocate Baloy. That was for accused for, I think it was 1739. There was 3 calls made after he was arrested. That's the 3 calls that we're talking about. I never said that this
Okay.
on this page.
No, it's fine. I'll just stand it down. I'll come back to it. But the purpose for asking this question is not primarily what I'm asking you. Let's proceed. My question is, when you were given this document, GG, Exhibit GG, to analyze,
Yes,
you had to go through all of it.
that's correct, my lord.
Wathi uma usunikwa u-exhibition GG ukuthi uhlaziye wayihlaziya yonke wathi yebo.
Now, during evidence in chief, sorry, let me say this. What made you, I know you were led by my colleague Mr. Baloyi, but your evidence related mainly to the communication between accused number 3 and number 5, correct?
No, my lord. My evidence, if I can read my statement, I was asked by the investigation officer, Brigadier Ganinga, to see if there's any communication. Let me just get my exhibit DD5C, paragraph 6. The intention and scope of this analysis and the request from the investigation officer was to determine the following. If there were any communication between 277668169 and other accused in this matter before this court. And the only numbers I picked up was that of accused number 5. No other numbers were communicating with that number during that period of the section 205. Only accused number 5.
Athi uma uhlaziya le document leyo kubheke ukukhulumisana phakathi kwamsolo wesithathu nowesihlanu athi cha mina nginikweke umsebenzi uBrigadier Ginidi ukuthi ngihlaziye ukuthi kukhona yini ukukhuluma phakathi kuka 0727661869 nabanye abasolo abakhona la enkantolo. Yaphendula ukuthi cha engikubonile umsolo wesihlanu.
My question is that the number 0727668169, it appeared from the first page of the data that we're analyzing. Correct?
That's correct, my lord.
But number 0727668169 ivele kusuka ekhasini lokuqala ukuthi yebo.
To know the reasons, if not a reason, why the records of the number 0727668169 were not placed on record in your examination in chief, starting from page 10, proceeding to page 13. Do you know?
Don't understand.
I don't think there's something that this witness can answer. In any case, we did explain that we received the data at a rather late stage, my lord.
I disagree with the stage. I'm going to demonstrate in my submission that the state deliberately omit a particular evidence. For example, my lord, when we're dealing with the AVL evidence of debris, the state omitted deliberately the incident that happened at Engine Garage. This evidence that was titled yesterday, beginning from page 10, 11, 12, and 13, the state realized that it was an own goal in their case. NesiZulu bathi bayigwaze ngowabo umkhondo. May I proceed, my lord?
As a court, please, I don't know what the basis of my colleague's submission is. The fact of the matter is he's representing accused number 1, and he's straddling the lines by cross-examining on behalf of the other accused. If he can maybe just stick to his lane, that would assist.
It's the concern of the defense. We have agreed with Mr. Mnisi the reasons why I have to deal with this evidence. Secondly, these 5 accused are charged with common purpose to commit an offense. Anything that is said, because my colleague forgets that there are only 2 confessions here. Confession for accused number 1 and for accused number 2. Anything that is in that confession that touches accused number 3, 4, and 5, I have a fiduciary duty to cross-examine this witness based on that doctrine of common
No, let's just understand that. Remember, you talked about section 319, is it?
219.
Sorry, 219, to
Yes.
say the evidence which is adduced by a confession through either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Correct.
It's not applicable to 2, 3, 4, 5.
Correct.
Right, now you are saying you are cross-examining because of the common purpose doctrine.
Yes. That's what it's one of the charges.
Right, fine. And if what you are cross-examining on impinges in the confession, which attaches or which relates to the other accused who are not involved in that confession, you are saying I should allow you to cross-examine thereof. You are right, but the point is, if you do that, then it's a reflection on your client. Are you
I'm aware of that.
Are you aware of it?
I'm aware, my lord.
Fine.
May I just clarify this, my lord, before I proceed?
Yeah, fine.
This witness relates to the communication between these 5 accused.
Yes, yes.
Where does that emanate from? It emanates from the contents of the confession. And in relation to the contents of the communication, I wish to remind the court that there's evidence that Kelly Kumalo communicated with accused number 3. That's the purpose of getting into number 3 for the confession that has been made by accused 1 and 2. That's the reason it deals with communication. So I want to prove to this witness that there was no communication between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 3 in anticipating in the commission of the said offenses, my lord. That's the relevance of
Okay, fine.
it deals with communication.
All right.
Can't comment on that, my lord.
Yeah.
But on what is related to communication, I want you to show the court, because I've got the records here. Can you please take this number from me? Can you please take these 2 numbers from me? 082 082
Yes,
7044
yes,
358.
yes,
The second number 072
yes,
938
yes,
2498.
yes.
Those are numbers for Kelly Kumalo. Those 2 numbers are for Kelly Kumalo. And I have an affidavit made by Kelly Kumalo to say those were the numbers that she was using on the day Senzo was killed. I'm just putting a background. So now, to draw your attention or to employ your skill as a data analyst, I'm putting to you that there was no communication between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 3. Looking at those numbers and on the event of the 26th of October, you will find no communication between accused number 3 and Kelly Kumalo. Unless you want me to give you an opportunity to go through that. Specifically on the 26th, because that was the day in which the state alleges that, according to the confession, Kelly Kumalo communicated with accused number 3.
So there's the number 0827044358 ne 072-938-2498. Hii numbers Kelly Kumalo. Futhi ke ukhona lapho ephathisa khona Affidavit ukuthi lezi hii number esenzisa ngalilanga Senzo Khulumalo Senzo Meyiwa bulawa ngalo. Manje ukuthi ke akukho ndawo la khombisa khona ukuthi uKelly Khumalo nomsolo wesi3 bakhuluma ngomhla ka26 njengoba ke umshushisi esho kuthiwa uthini ngalokho.
A lot is 337 pages. It's not just a press of the button. So
We can suspend it, we can stand it down. You'll have an opportunity to go through those numbers, if the court so pleases. Can we proceed?
yes,
Or
we can
you-
proceed.
My lord, can I stand down that question for the witness to go through the 205s to check
Find
these
out
two
if there's
numbers?
communication between Kelly
Court.
Khumalo and number 3.
Number 3, yes, my lord.
Is that okay? Colonel
Let me
Holmes?
just, that's correct, my lord. Let me just check. I go quickly with,
But as I recall the evidence, Kelly Khumalo had about what, 5 numbers or 6 numbers?
Sorry, my lord, to ask, I have no
No, I mean,
recollection.
that's the evidence. Sorry, Mr. Baloi, you recall how many numbers did Miss Kelly Khumalo have?
Yes, indeed, that is stated in the affidavit of stay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the number of the cell phones that she had.
Yeah, she had about 5 or 6.
Yes.
And further, my lord, it has been stated in that affidavit of Brigadier Kininda, A227, that Kelly Khumalo had 4 cell phones, of cell phone numbers. But now, what is of importance, the logic and the reasons to have the section 205. May I just establish from the witness? Say, when you were approached by Brigadier Kininda, you said somewhere in September last year, 7 months ago, correct?
correct.
Wathi ke Brigadier Kininda wakuthinda uSeptember kulo nyaka odlula wathi yebo.
When he asked you to do the analysis on the basis that Mr. Steyn is on retirement, did he tell you that there were section 205s that were taken from the people that were in the house where Senzo was killed? Did he tell you?
No, my lord, when I started with this case, I didn't do the cell phone and the 205. I was doing the downloading of the 2 cell phones of accused 2 and accused 5. Later, during the course of the trial, it was requested for the section 205s to be produced, that we have given to the council, and then I started with the section 205s on the accused. That's why that statement came in later. It was the additional statement, DD52 and DD53. So my original my original was just for the 2 cell phones that was downloaded to do analysis on that, not on the section 205. So it came later. So I don't know anything about any section 205, other people that was in the house. I have no record about that.
Wathi ekuqaleni kwalomsebenzi lona nganginikwe inombolo ezimbili kaMsolo wesihlanu umhlolo wesibili kuphela ukuthi nje ngikhiphe ulwazi olukhona la ngaphakathi kulamafoni. Manje ke uthi ke emva kwaloko ke ilapho ke ngacela khona ukuthi ngisenze no section 205. Usho ukuthi lama ama section 205 anginalwazi ngawo.
So, I've just checked the exhibits relating to Colonel Steyn, exhibit 01.
Oh, 1.
Yes, it shows that Ms. Kelly Khumalo had 8 cell phones.
8 cell phones,
Yes.
yeah, that's the point. Miss Kelly Khumalo had 8 cell phones. Fine.
8 cell phones.
Yeah, so when you ask this witness about the communication regarding Kelly Khumalo, it must correlate with 8 cell phones.
I differ
which
with
are-
the lordship.
According to the state,
I
Ms. Kelly
differ, my lord,
Khumalo had.
I differ with the court.
With the court?
Yes, I differ with what the court is saying, that I must correlate with 8 cell phones.
No, but look, it's common sense. If I have 8 cell phones.
My Lord, Section 205 does not require common sense.
What does it require?
It requires scrutiny on what was registered on the as a database.
Fine,
but now what may I submit?
Yeah, fine.
By saying this?
Yeah.
We'll keep on speculating about the number of cell phones.
Is it a speculation? Wait, Mr. Ngomezulu. Mr. Baloi, is it speculation that Kelly Khumalo had 6 or whatever cell phones?
Well, that's according to the evidence and the affidavit of Stain. I've just quoted.
How many cell phones? Just let's recite those 8 cell phones numbers, if there are. Oh, my daughter.
Well, on page 3 of Colonel Stain's affidavit, Exhibit 01,
yeah,
she stated the following. She says, the following extraction out of XDS to trace the following numbers of Kelly Khumalo. Then she mentions them.
And he mentions how many numbers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So that's not speculation, Mr.
That's the reason. My Lord, may I just put it this way?
Yeah,
maybe
fine.
The court will understand me.
Okay.
I wanted to show the witness a document. May I hand over this document to Mr. Stein? I'll show you. I'm not going. That's the letter that was written by Captain Zethu to the TSU for the 205s.
Yes.
And with that letter she mentioned the numbers that are listed there for the people that were in the house.
Yes.
From that letter, if needs be, I'll make copies for the court and for everyone. In that letter, the numbers that I gave you, the 2 numbers that I gave you for Kelly Khumalo, they also appear in that letter. Do you agree?
Athi kule ncwadi ke ebhalwe uCaptain Zethu ayiya ku-TSU ngama-205 uyabika ke lapho ukuthi kwakune ziphi inamba ezasetshenziswa abantu abalibe lapha endlini. Yavuma yini ukuthi lezi namba ekunika zona sikhona lapha?
That's correct. The 2 numbers, that's correct.
Athi yebo lezi namba embili sikhona.
And according to that letter, there were only 2 cell phones that Captain Zethu mentioned of the cell phones that were taken from people that were in the house. He mentioned Tumelo, Madlala, Longwe Twala, Mtokozisi, Twala, Madlala, Zandi Khumalo, and I think it's mother of Kelly Khumalo as well.
There's 8 numbers, 9 numbers.
9 numbers.
That's correct.
Including Senzo.
Including Senzo, that's correct.
Athi ke inamba ke lezi ezathathwa amaphoyisa ngaleso sikhathi kuyeka Tumelo Madlala, Ekalongwe, Twala, Ekazandi Khumalo, Ngamama Zandi Khumalo, zazisheka lolu yini namba ezathathwa la?
Yes, if you peruse that, the second page or the third page, I would say the attachment to those are the 205s, the extracts of the 205 for Kelly Kumal, for both numbers, correct?
It's one page, my lord. I can't do anything on a one-page extraction.
No, I'm saying it's an extract. I've got the full 205.
I understand, but I don't have the 205 with me, my lord, so I can see, I can't do analysis on an extraction or even if I have the document, yes, maybe I can see what I can do,
No,
but not on the extraction of 2 pages. It's not a full document.
We only have one page.
One page of one number and one page of the other number, my lord.
Okay.
Page a lot la nenye number nenye page la nenye number ngakwazi ukuhlayisa ngala ma page mfana mathole wonke ama page.
The purpose was not to analyze those documents, was to confirm the contents of what was in that covering letter for Captain Mteto. That was the purpose, not to analyze. May I have the document back? The reason why I'm asking this question, Brigadier Kininda, the investigating officer, did not tell you that there was a 205 done on the in 2014 regarding people that were in the house. The relevance of this is based on the communication between accused number 3 and Kelly Kumar.
Brigadier Kininda ke njengoba kuumsesha azangitshele ukuthi ke kokhona ama 205 enzwa kubantu abalapho endlini na.
Now, I'm going back to my question. You analyzed, you saw that there is the numbers 072-766-8169 from the beginning of the first page.
Athi uhlazile kubona ukuthi khona le number 072-766-8169 kusukela ekhasini lokuqala.
If you were not taken on cross-examination yesterday, this information would not have been before this honorable court. You agree?
Which information is this Mr. Mgomezelo referring to?
My lord, my colleague is not listening to me. He's not listening, but with due respect for the decorum of this court, I'll repeat. I referred you to Exhibit GG, where I asked you whether did you go through that Section 205 document data from page 1 up to the last page. You said yes.
That's correct, my lord.
And I asked you about, or I cross-examined you yesterday from page 10, 11, 12, and 13 about the records of Cellphone 0727668169.
That's correct.
My question is simple. If I did not ask you about the transactions that are in those pages, this court might have not have knowledge of those transactions without being placed on records by you.
So, God, please, my lord, we have presented that evidence. It's on record. How can now Mr. Mgomezelo says if he didn't ask, we are aware of those calls, and that's why we put them before court. And it cannot be us of this witness that if he did not cross-examine on that, the information would not have surfaced. But it's before court, and we place it before court.
My lord, that's not true.
It's not true.
That's not true. Mr. Valo, you must be honest to this court. That's not true. I said, let's stand down that question, the first question I asked you, where you only dealt with 3 transactions on the 26th. That's what I asked you. I'll come back to that to that question after. I need to consult my notes. I misplaced my notes.
My Lord, sorry, there was 3 transactions, 2610, 14, 13, 49, 49, 2610, 2014, 15, 19, 32, and 2610, 18, 31, to accused 5, number 27723995787.
Manje kukhona ke kathathu lapho kube khona ukuxhumana phakathi kwale number 072766 8169 nenumber ke kamsolo wesihlanu 0723995787 umhla 26 zonke kusukela ngesikhathi ka 1349 49 1359 15 19 32 no 18 31 16.
You see, Mr. Host, I listen and I write notes.
100%, my Lord. I was just looking at the other dates, 100%. I understand, my Lord.
Now, I just want us to get into the purpose of your evidence in this court as a data analyst. The main, or let me not put it as the main object or objective of your testimony in general terms as a data analyst. But what does it seek to achieve when you present such evidence in court as an expert?
My Lord, I was asked to see if there was communication between these 3 and other suspects, and that's what I did, to see if there was communication. That's all. That was my scope of my analysis. It's not something I made up, it was requested by me by the investigation.
Yes. So you've done as you were requested and you gave evidence, and surely in your evidence you stated that there was a communication between accused number 3 and number 5.
That's correct.
And one of amongst my colleagues, either Advocate Nesi, Advocate Numalo or Advocate Mshololo, put it to you that accused number 3 and number 5 knew each other before the incident of the 24th of
100%, my Lord.
So is it your evidence today that the cell number of accused number 1, the 079-379-0137, cannot be linked with that own number, so with that number 072-766-8169?
For the period 23 October 2014 to 25 January 2015, that's the section 205 I have in front of me. For the other periods, I can't say, my Lord.
579-0137 no 0762-766-8169 bengekho ukuxhumana sithi-ke kusukela ngo-October 2014 kuya ku-January 2015 lokho ebengingaphawula ngako, kodwa-ke kwezinye iy'khathi anginama-205 angeke ngikwazi ukuphawula ngalokho.
But I'll just put it as a fact to be proven that there was no accused number 1 and number 3 did not know each other on the 26th of October 2014. on the day Senzo was killed.
Ngibeka ukuthi umsolo oqala nomsolo wesithathu babengazani ngaphambili kwamhla 26 October ngelanga uSenzo Meyiwa wabulala ngalo.
Neither there was such a communication between accused number 1 and accused number 3 on that day.
Bathi futhi akukho ukuxhumana phakathi kamsolo oqala nomsolo wesithathu ngalelo langa.
Noted, my lord. Can't comment on it.
Akukho engakuphawula ngalokho.
Now, if this purpose of giving this evidence is demonstrated by you from the request of the lead investigator, Mr. Brigadier Gininda, I'm putting it to you now as a matter of a proven fact that accused number 2, being the owner and the possessor, lawful possessor of the cell phone 072 766 8169, was not in Vosloorus on the day Senzo was killed.
I can't comment on it, my lord. I haven't got the section 205 for that number, so I can't comment on that statement, my lord.
Umsolo wesibili umnini wale phone 0727668169 wayengekho eFoslare ngelanga uSenzo Meyiwa abulala ngalo kusho ukuthi ke wathi anginayo section 205 ya le phone futhi ngeke ngikwazi ukuphawula ngalokho.
I was meaning accused number 1 and number 3. I beg your pardon, sir.
Ngikhuluma ngomsalo ohlolo oqala nosithathu.
I think we already dealt with that. Cell phone was in that area. I can't comment if the person was there, as was stated yesterday. And the accused one, I haven't got this section 205 for the period for that 2014, my lord.
But engakusho nje ukuthi ifoni yakhombisa ukuthi yayilapho ukuthi kwakuyena owayephethe angeke ngikwazi ukuphawula ngaloko isection 205 kamsolo oqala yona anginayo angikwazi ukuphawula.
Sorry. May I approach my colleague? From the court.
As it is the court. I got a bit lost. There was something that I was quickly checking on my notes here. On the last session that my colleague Mr. Gomez put to the witness, when he said that he put it as a matter of fact.
Please, says what?
When I'm trying to recall, as I'm saying, something that was distracting me on the notes here. But then I heard him saying that he put it as a matter of fact that on the day of the incident, accused number 3 was never at Vosloorus.
Yeah.
In terms of the record, in terms of the cell phone data, as it is the court, my lord, may I just request a very moment to have a word with my colleague?
Yeah, okay, you want to consult with Mr. Mgqibelo concerning the fact whether number 3 was actually at Vosloorus or not.
I will bring that information, and I think for now it's privileged, it's classified information.
What do you mean it's here? That's why I know it.
Excuse me, madam.
That's why I know it.
No, I say for now, what me and Mr. Mgqibelo are going to discuss is privilege.
Oh, fine, yeah, fine.
Yes.
So you want to ask for Jen?
Just for 5 minutes, madam, yes.
Okay, then 5 minutes. Yes.
Thank you, Manot.
I think the issue has been clarified. Mr. Vice will explain it to the court. Thank you.
Let me just put it very clearly and unambiguously. Mr. Host, what I wanted to clarify, according to this data, when the allegation that Senzo was killed between 7:30 and 8:30, the time, I'm referring to the time, accused number 3 was not in force lorus. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Ngesikhathi usenzo ekuthiwa wabulawa ngaso ngo-7:30 ukufika ngo-8:30 umsolo wesithathu wayengekho e-false lorus.
Let's move on to the evidence, but may I find out from you, because I wanted to tell you that there are no records of communication between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 3. But insofar as the data for accused number 3, I have established, or I just want to check it from you, whether will it be necessary to go through the 205s for Kelly Kumalo? For that period, in confirmation of the evidence of building up from Colonel Steyn.
If I've got all 8 numbers, yes, my lord, but not only on 2 numbers. I need to have all 8 numbers that was mentioned, the section 205.
Bathi-ke lo kungekho-ke ukuxhumana phakathi kaKelly Khumalo nomsola wesithathu, idatha-ke kamsola wesithathu kungadingeka yini ukuthi uyofunda yonke i-205 kaKelly Khumalo ukuze kuthiwa ukuthi khona yini okusekela umbiko letho uColonel Steyn asithi cha ngifanele ngiyofunda ekaKelly Khumalo.
How long do you think you'll need?
I have the section 205, my lord. I can see, I don't know how many entries is in there. I don't know how many data is there. I can't say one day and then there's 10,000 entries, so I need all 8 section 205s for all 8 numbers before I can make a comment, my lord.
Uthe ngathatha isikhathi singanani athi cha ngeke ngakwazi ukusho ngoba angeke ngazi ukuthi kuyobe kuhamakhasi amangaki, kodwa ngifanele ngikwazi ukuthi ngithole wonke ama-205 azo zonke lezi namba ezo-8 ukuze ngikwazi ukuletha umbiko ophelele.
Please, my lord. Colonel Steyn testified that he's gone through that exercise and he established that there was communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5 on the number that ends with 202. Why should this witness now go through the same exercise?
I didn't get clarity. Does he have the communication, the 205s for Kelly Khumalo for 2014? Is that what Steyn said, Mr.?
Yes, indeed. In fact, they are attached to his affidavit and it's mentioned in his evidence as well.
So Steyn said he went through those 205s regarding the 8 numbers.
Yes.
8 numbers.
Well, he didn't specifically mention
He didn't
the
mention
number, but
that it was 8 numbers.
Yes, but he looked for communication between the accused numbers as well as Ms. Kelly
And established that there were 2 communications
Yes, on 2 occasions.
on 2 occasions in August.
Yes, August and October, 15th of
August and
October.
October.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Mzulu.
My lord, I don't want to delay this matter further. These 205s were made in respect of all the cell phones.
I don't know.
I just want to find out from my colleague, because as I've indicated to this witness that 205s were only done on 2 cell phones.
But you are putting it as a fact that there was no communication between number 5
Three.
or 3
I said number 3
with
and
Kelly
Kelly
Kumar.
Kumar. I didn't mention number 5.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yes,
So it means you have the section 205.
for Kelly
records.
Kumar.
Fine.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. And then the state is reposted to say that Stein went through the same exercise and he found that there were 2 communications, one in August and one in October, regarding Kelly Kumalo and number 5.
That's correct. But looking at the confession, no, I'm just on the background of this matter. A communication was between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 3, not in accused number 5.
Now that's a confession,
Yes,
but the evidence during the trial, not the trial within the trial,
yes,
by Stein,
correct.
is that there were 2 communications between Kelly Kumalo and number 5. Is that so, Mr.?
That's correct. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's evidence I listened to.
That's correct.
Fine.
But what concerns me is that the 205s that I have was to disprove the allegations or the facts that are in the confession regarding the communication between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 3.
But you see, the problem is this court doesn't have those 205s of Kelly Kumalo, which you have. I don't know where you got them from. I don't have them.
My lord,
And this is what the repost by Colonel Gous to say, I don't have them. You are the only one who has them.
my lord, I even asked from Mr. House if he will be comfortable to go through that. How long will it take? Because
But
I have those. I can even make the copies for the court. And
Yeah,
for
fine.
everyone.
But
Yes.
then you've got to give them to the witness
Yes,
and give them to the court and give them to your colleagues.
correct. Man.
But you're not doing that. You're just wandering in the ether space.
No, that time was going to is coming, my lord.
Okay, fine.
It's coming.
Fine.
Because I just wanted to put to the attention of the witness that I've got the 205.
Yes, fine.
I didn't even ask him to analyze it. But what is of importance has been confirmed by the witness. May I proceed?
What is of importance? Which
Is
was
that
confirmed
there
by the
was-
witness?
Is that accused number 3 was not in force Loras? When
Did you confirm that, sir?
I confirmed the Cellphone was there.
Unless I'm in another court.
no.
I wanted with him, so according to the data, the Cellphone was there, and I don't know if he
You're
was.
talking about the device.
The device.
You're not talking about the person.
I don't know where he
No,
was.
but my lord, we are not, I don't think we need to engage into things that are fictitious here. If there's evidence that this thing belonged to accused number 3, so now we are inviting ourselves to speculate, to say if this device was not in Force Loras. Now we are speculating to say
No.
maybe it was with somebody
No,
else.
don't accuse me of speculation. I'm asking this witness. And this witness says, all he can confirm is that the number of the device was at a certain location, but he can't vouch to the fact that the device which belongs to Rachama Khwatling was at that location. Am I quoting correctly, sir?
Let me clarify this by asking this question, by telling this by putting this to Mr. Stein, Mr. House. I had an opportunity to consult with the rest of the accused. It is confirmed that accused number 3 was in possession of this device on the 26th of October 2014.
Where?
On the day
Where?
of... My Lord, may I just...
No.
I don't want to leave the gates.
No, Mr. Ngqibelo, please.
I started, my Lord,
The court must be placed in a position to understand. Because
My
this
Lord.
witness, wait. This witness doesn't talk about locality of a person. This witness talks about the locality of a device. Mr. House, Colonel House,
That's correct, my Lord.
that's it. So I
But
must
we are talking
understand.
about the accused
Otherwise,
number
this
3.
court is a Mickey Mouse court.
No, my Lord, no. The court must not dig its own way
No,
of finding the person. No, I'm saying there's evidence here. GG.
Yeah.
It talks about accused number 3. The instruction the request that was made to Mr. House was in relation to 5 accused. Accused number 3 is one of them. And my instruction, when I cross-examined Mr. House yesterday, I started at 7 in the morning. Yes, in page 10, until the 30th of October. There's no other accused person that I'm talking about.
No.
I'm talking about him.
No, but listen, I mean, I was in this court. This witness never confirmed the presence of accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He confirms the presence of a number. And of course, am I correct?
My Lord, this is a section 205 is on the number.
Please,
of the, IMA of the number where the number was in that area.
The number, not the person.
The device, my Lord.
May I request the court
That's not me saying that, it's him saying
May
that.
I request the court not to be impatient? May I request the court to be patient and
I'm
listen
very
to...
patient.
No, my Lord, I disagree with you. I don't want to fight and dialogue with you.
Okay.
My concern is that just now to correct that accused number 3, I'm putting to this witness now
Right.
that from 8 o'clock, I'm specific now, from 8 minutes past 8 according to these records, he was in possession of the cell phone
Okay, fine.
until the 30th. I'm being specific.
Yes.
I don't talk about other days prior. Now I'm putting to you, Mr. Host, accused number 3, I put it as a fact now. You can disagree with me. I put it as a fact that on the 8th, on the 26th of October 2014, at 8 minutes past 8, as with reference to page 10 of Exhibit GG, he was in possession of that device. I put it as a fact now.
Can't comment on it, my Lord.
Okay.
But umsolo sithathu ngo-808 uyofika ngomhla ka-30 wayephethe lowo makhalekhukhwini athi cha angikwazi ukuletha leso siqiniseko.
Let's now get into your evidence, which I said is irrelevant in this court. 2018. Before I conclude my examination, I'm going to argue at a later stage that evidence that you presented in this court from 2018 to 2021 is irrelevant in this court in the sense that there's no communication that you have placed on record either through SMS or WhatsApp that constitute or has the elements of a particular offense, meaning there are no SMSs, there's no communication that you can prove to this court that these accused persons knew each other for wrong purposes, especially in relation to the death of Senzo Meyiwa.
Atakho ubufakazi obungabuletha obukhona lenkantolo ukuthi mhlambe kwaba nama SMS noma WhatsApp ekhombisa ukuthi ukuxhumana kwalabasolo mayelana nokwenza ke ukuholela ekubulaweni kaSenzo Meyiwa.
Meaning, you cannot prove mens rea or mean guilty mind in this communication between these accused persons.
Ngeke kwazi ukuletha isiqiniseko sokuthi laba ke abasolwa babehlosile.
Comment, my lord, I don't know what it means, sir.
You can't, I'm putting to you, you can't even prove the actus reus, the positive act in the communication of these 5 accused persons in terms of these records.
My lord, I don't have a law degree. I don't know what
Active reus is.
Positive act.
he's put statements to me.
No, this is,
I'm new in the court.
let me just give you an example, Mr. House. Just an example. An example would be, in the communication, accused number 1 said, yes, this is what I've done, through a message or SMS. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Let's move forward. You remember when you talk about paragraph 15.2.2 in your exhibit DD5?
That's correct, my lord.
You talk about a cell phone that was taken from accused number 1 during his arrest under case number 217-03-2019. Remember it? Paragraph 15.2.2.
But yeah, paragraph 15.2.2 ku-exhibition DD5 ukhulume nge-cellphone eyathathwa umsolo wokuqala ngesikhathi eboshwa.
Yes, my lord.
But yebo,
Do you agree that you spoke about accused number 2, accused number 1 being arrested under case number 217-03-2019?
ndiyakhumbula ukuthi wathi lapho umsolo waboshwa ngaphansi kwecala ekuthiwa 217-03-2019.
Tembisa cash.
Sorry?
Tembisa cash.
That's correct, yes.
Wathi icala sethembisa. Yebo.
Remember,
That's correct.
in
Wathi
terms
yebo
of,
kunjalo.
in terms of that affidavit, you only mention one affidavit. Sorry, you only mention one cell phone.
Wathi lapho ukhulume nge-cellphone eyodwa.
That's what I received from the investigation officer. That's
In
correct.
terms of that affidavit, an affidavit was made by you, not by somebody else. You were alone when you made that affidavit.
Wathi wedwa umabhalele i-affidavit.
According to the database, that was the number, only that number that was found. That's correct.
Wathi ngaloko okukhona lapho ku-database iyona-ke inamba iyodwa yatholakala.
So where did you get the information that a cell phone was recovered from accused number 1?
Uthatha phi ukuthi
Mthembisi.
umakhalekhukhwini watholakala
Where did you get
kumsolo wokuqala?
From the database that was given by Colonel Stein to say that this number was received, was found in possession of accused number 1.
Hayi lo ngithole ngukhonesteli ukuthi le namba yatholakala umsolo wokuqala.
And Colonel Stein testified before you were asked by Mr. Gininda to come and testify here.
That's correct, my lord.
Wathi yebo ukhonesteli weza wazoletha ubufakazi ngaphambi kukaGininda.
So now, if this cell phone, according to the database, was taken from accused number 1, accused number 1 sorry, after your evidence about that paragraph 15.2.2, the next witness was Sergeant Mhola, who gave evidence to this court that for the first time in giving that evidence, she said 2 cell phones were recovered from accused number 2 on the 30th of May 2020.
I can't comment on that, my lord. I wasn't here. I didn't hear the testimony.
Wathi uSelwa Mkhola waletha ubufakazi ukuthi amaselofoni amabili athola umsolo wesibili ngomhla ka-30 kuMeyi 2020 wathi cha ngikwazi ukuphawula lutho ngalowo ngoba ngangingekho.
You have to comment on that one, I'm telling you now.
My lord, what must I comment? I wasn't in court hearing what she said.
So what must I comment?
Ngiyangikwazi ukuphawula ngoba ngangingekho enkantolo.
Let's go to your. Yeah. Let's go to your exhibit. Exhibit D5B. Second page. D5B. May I approach? Number one, sorry, not number two. Sorry, number one. I'm representing accused number one. Okay, I'm referring to accused number one, sir. 15.2.2 refers to accused number one in that Tembisa case 217/03/2019. I'm referring to that. Now I'm referring you to your paragraph, to your affidavit, DD5B. You remember how many cell phones you mentioned that they belong to accused number one?
Hayi kama-cellphone okubonana lapha kwe-exhibit D5B okuthiwa-ke akamsolo oqala.
In terms of that,
Two numbers.
Athi kubonakala iy'namba ey'mbili.
where did you get the second number? The second number, is it the one 060-7746-749?
From the investigation officer, my lord.
Zona izinamba ngathola kumseshi.
When?
Nini?
When I've done the section 205.
Emva kokuthi ngenze section 205.
When?
Athi nini?
My lord. When I was asked to do the section 205, when I received the database, all the numbers was given to me. I've got a list of numbers that I can show that was given to me by the investigation officer and Colonel Stein in September month.
That's correct. I wanted to know when,
September
which
month.
day.
That's correct.
Which day?
Ngathola ngoSeptember.
When I was asked, let me just check my statement. I received a request from Colonel Stein on 230906.
Athi ngayithola-ke isicelo kusiphuma ku-Kenstein ngomhla
Colonel Brigadier Kanenda to assist Colonel Stein.
ubrigadier Gininda wangicela ukuthi ngisize u-Kenstein.
Then that affidavit DD5, which date did you make it?
Kwenza nini-ke i-affidavit ka-DD5?
What was the day it was commissioned?
I lost some of the papers I just lose. I just need to get it. DD5B.
Yes.
DD5 or DD5B?
DD5, the first one.
(2909-2023).
Mhla 29/09/2023.
So you made that affidavit after you were given the data,
That's correct, my lord.
I-affidavit le ngayenza emva sengithole i-data.
but you confirmed that in your DD5 5 affidavit, there's no mention of other cell numbers for accused number 1.
Ndiyaqiniseka ukuthi kule ku-DD5 akukhombisi ezinye inamba ezihambelana nomsolo oqala.
Where did I confirm that?
No. Unless I referred you to paragraph 15.2.2. I was specific. I'm talking about paragraph 15.2.2. That's where you talked about the cell number of accused number 1.
That's correct. I never said there was any other numbers. I said this number was found on the database. I never said there's no other numbers on the database of the accused. I never said he had another number, or I don't know if he has another number. This number was given to me by the investigation team.
Mr. Stein, Mr. Host,
that's correct.
Let me just rephrase it. Maybe you didn't understand me.
Yes.
May I rephrase it?
Yes.
I'm saying, when you testified for the first time about annexure DD5, you refer this court to paragraph 15.2.2, correct?
That's correct.
Umukhuluma nge-DD5 la enkantolo ukhulume nge-paragraph 15.2.2 wathi yebo kunjalo.
In that affidavit, you have not mentioned any other number other than the number 079-379-0137. That's the only number you spoke of, you wrote about it in that affidavit.
But the affidavit ayikho enye number okhulume ngayo, ukhulume ngo-079-379-0137, ayikho enye number okhulume ngayo.
My question, simple. With reference to DD5B, second page, you mentioned 2 numbers of accused number 1.
My Lord, can I explain something? The section, the paragraph, let me just go to paragraph
15.2.
15.2. So paragraph 15 is number identified. Okay, the number of Masequela Stemba Sabia accused 1 of shell number 277937917 was saved on SIM card on the index as Muzi. Okay, yes. So the next one. The number was identified through Truecaller, section 205, during the arrest on Tembisa Cash on Samsung SMGF 532F with IMA number currency bag PA6500178680 with number was found in his possession. This picture that
No, I'm not talking about pictures.
Just want to explain, my lord. This picture is the communication with that number. He won't communicate with his own number, that's why his number is not on here. This is the communication from that number. If you look at I'll open it. I explained the communication with that number. Not the numbers of the accused. I explained the communication with that number. I won't pick up his number because he didn't communicate with his own number. That's why it's not on there. So I never stated that there was, I don't know about another number. This picture says that's the communication. If you look in the middle, 27793790137. And then that's the communication to that number. I couldn't say that he communicated with his own number because that was not my scope of analysis. So I never put it to this court that I don't know about another number of the accused.
Zangichaza ukuthi ayikho enye number engiyaziyo kaMsolo engishoyo nje ukuthi angeke akwazi ukuthi akhulume ngenumber yakhe lapha ngoba benganikiwe lo msebenzi ukuthi ngichaze ukuthi ukhulumile yini le number yakhe.
But my concern is very simple. I don't want you to saw it, Mr. House. My concern is that number reflected in the second page of DD5B is not in your DD5, the second number. Is that what I want to confirm?
No, my lord. This picture, 35, is the communication of 2779790137. So that's the one number. That's the one the number that he said that he doesn't. I didn't know. Now this is the communication with the other accused.
Let me make it simple for you.
But you can't. It won't be on here because he didn't phone his own number. That's why it's not on here. So I haven't got record on my database for the communication to the other number. So that's why I don't have the number on this picture, my lord.
But because we 079 3790137 ibikhumana kanjani nalabanye abasolo angeke kube khona la esithombeni ukukhombisa ukuthi wayekhuluma yini nale inamba ngoba ngeke akwazi abengathi-ke ukuthi bheke ukuthi wayekhuluma nenamba yakhe yini.
Mr. Host, I'm concerned about the wording of paragraph 15.2.2.
Yes.
You talked about it from the 205. This is the number that was found when accused number 1 was arrested in Tembisa.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's correct.
So now, my question is, was it the only number on that database that you were giving before you made that affidavit?
I never looked for that another number because I was looking for the communication with this number with the other accused, my lord. I don't know how to explain it. If I phone, I won't phone my other number.
I know.
So it won't be on this because this is the communication from 0137 to the other accused. So I didn't put it on here because there was no communication with that number. I never said there was another number or I don't know about another number.
Ngizazi ukuthi ayikho enye number noma khona enye number echazayo lana ukuthi lesithombe ukhombisa ukuthi inumber leyo 0137 yayikhuluma yini nabanye abasolo ngoba iyona nto engangicela ukuthi ngiyiveze.
My lord, can we adjourn for tea?
No, continue with that.
No, that's what was indicated to me. But I can still proceed.
Yeah,
I'm
proceed.
not running out of questions.
Proceed.
Yes. This number 060.
Mano, can I go back to the top one? To the top. So it was on a database, but it was not. Stemba Sabia Muzi 27607747679. I did testify about that because that's a communication from 1239 with that number. I worked out the communication with the other numbers, my lord. So why it's not on paragraph 15.2.2 because 0137 didn't communicate with that number. But if you're looking at paragraph 15.2.1, accused 5, 27715911239 did communicate with that number. That was, it's put to me now.
20715951239 wakhuluma naleyo number. Ikhona yiyo into enza ukuthi ikhombise la.
So it is on the database, my lord.
Why was it not mentioned in DD5? And especially there's another number that I'm coming.
It is mentioned in paragraph 9.2.1.
Paragraph 9.2.1.
That is for accused number 5.
Yes, because he communicated with that number, but it's not. He didn't communicate with himself. That's why it's not on paragraph 15.2.2.
But yebo ngoba yakhuluma nabanye abantu ikhulunywe ngawo kodwa ke ayizange ikhulunywe ukuthi yazifonela yena.
Other than that data that was given to you.
Yes, my lord.
How do you prove that this number belongs to accused number 1?
Through the investigation team, they must come testify. That was given to me by the investigation team, my lord.
Bathe ngaphandle ke kwale 251 wena ukwazi kanjalo lethi isiqiniseko sokuthi bakwefom number yakho hayi abaseshi abanomsebenzi ukuthi bazoletha leso siqiniseko balethelana bakube yibona abazosikhulumela.
Did they give you the record document under this number?
My lord, I was told this is the number of accused 5.
The question is, did they give you the record document? That's the
No,
question.
my lord, I didn't. I was told that was the number of.
But bakunika any record document that cha mina ngatshela ukuthi inumber yakhe le.
Let's get into 083 7106 297. You said it belonged to accused number 1.
083?
083
Yes.
710 6297.
Where did I do that? Accused 1, 083?
710 6297.
6297. Where did I say?
Sorry?
629.
Do,
Just trying to
is
get
it the
that
first
number.
time to talk about this number?
No, I'm just trying to see what's the number. Remember? Just want to check what number you're talking about. My lord. Oh wait, 2?
083 710 6279. 97, sorry. 083 710 6297.
62. That's it, yes.
Sorry?
Okay, yeah,
Do you see it?
yes.
Does it belong to accused number 1?
That's according to my, that was given to me by the investigation team, my lord.
Bathe ke le 0837106297 yakhombisa yena ukuthi ekamsolo oqala ukuthi hayi ilento engitshelwe abaseshi.
So you don't have record documents for this number?
No, my lord.
Bathe anayo ireka yaleyo athi hayi cha anginayo.
I have a worry of bringing these two numbers after Sergeant Mhola has testified. According to your initial testimony, you talked about one cell phone that was recovered from accused number 1.
No, I never said one phone, my lord.
You mentioned, sorry, in that affidavit you mentioned one cell phone.
No.
Where is it?
15.2. Do you
Point
understand what?
Just, sorry, Mr. Lieutenant Colonel, just read 15.2.
I'll start with 15.2.1.
Yeah, just read it.
where that number is
Yes.
mentioned. 15.2, my lord, is the communication of. Let me open it again for you, my lord. And it just said that number. They communicate. These numbers communicate with that number. Okay. That second number of what you won't be on this because he didn't communicate with his own number. That's why it's not on here. I never said there wasn't another number. But if you go back to 15.2.1, paragraph 15.2.1, there is the number put on record. So there is the number.
The court asked you to read that
Yes,
paragraph 15.2.1
yes.
and 15.2.2. The reason why I'm asking this question, Mr. Host, is that, do you remember when you laid evidence about that number? Later it transpired that that number belonged to Lungsani. Yeah. That number, they said it belongs to Lungsani Ndwandwe, who will come and testify at a later stage.
The enemy must come testify, my lord. That's the data I've got, that's information and the data I have, and I gave evidence on what I have.
Atheka data ile enginayo and ufaze emplethile ile phezulu le data enginayo.
And according to my instruction, Lungsani Ndwandwe is the younger brother to accused number 1. Is a is a cousin to accused number 1. Lungsani Ndwandwe.
Lungsani Ndwandwe ngosinako la nkatolo ukuthi umzala kaMsolo wokuqala.
Thank you, Madam. Let me just rephrase it. Correction. Lungsani Ndwandwe is the younger brother of accused number 1.
Lungsani Ndwandwe umfana omncane kaMsolo wokuqala.
And he will call him also to confirm that that number belonged to Lungsani Ndwandwe.
I can't comment to that, my lord. I don't have the Home Affairs data before me to confirm if Lungsani is indeed the brother of accused number 1.
I know that you are not working for Home Affairs. The question, the relevance of this is that you made an analysis based on wrong information.
When I received the information, there was no mention that that was the brother of accused number 1.
Now I'm correcting you.
So I didn't do the wrong analysis. I've done on what I received, and that's what I gave him for court.
I'm saying to you now that that number has been contested. You can't put it as a fact that it belongs to accused number 5.
And I can't put it as a fact that it belongs to the brother.
According to the data. According to the data that you are giving.
That's correct.
We will correct that information emanating from the data.
That's
the correct information is that that number belongs to Lungsani Ndwandwe, and he is related to accused number 1.
Can't comment on that, my lord.
Can you adjourn for 2 minutes?
You still want to go on, please. You don't have to adjourn for tea.
We need to take a comfort break, my lord.
Let's see, okay, 15 minutes then. Yes, Mr. Valerie. Mr. Mngqibelo, where is he? Oh, yes.
Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
No further questions, yes, Mr. Ramusipiri.
Thank you, my lord. I'm indebted. Colonel Host, if I can ask you for status, let us go to the 205 in respect of accused number 2, the 060-901-6890 number.
The one we had yesterday.
Yes, I think that's the one.
That's correct.
And if we may start at the beginning, I want you to explain to me some glossary of terms that are used in this section 205 called data records.
Ngicela ungichazele ukuthi khona amagama asetshenziswayo lo mbiko lona engifisa ukuthi ngizwisise kahle ukuthi la achaza ukuthini. Qale ekuqaleni.
Right at the top, where it says MSD and NMIMA and all of that, can you enlarge it because my eyesight is failing me from here? Yeah, right at the top.
MSI SDN, that's the cell phone number 2760901689.
Makhuluma MSI SDN khuluma number yephone 2760901689.
And this we have, or we are agreeing that it identifies the subscriber to a service provider, correct?
That is number, that's correct.
Siyavuma ukuthi lena khuluma ngalaba ke abaletha umsebenzi lona wokuxhumana.
And the 27 is the country code, dialing code for the Republic of South Africa.
That's correct.
Bathi u27 lo chaza ukuthi dialing code yala eMzansi.
Now, let us go to the IMSI, the IMSI.
IMSI is the cell phone card identification number.
Manje ku IMSI lana ukhuluma ukuthi ke igama le cell phone card.
Must I read the number?
No, before you read it, that IMSI, it's got, for our region, which we follow, the North American region, not the European region, correct? I'll explain to you what I mean. It's got 3 parts, right? The digits that are there. The first 3 digits will tell you who the service provider is, correct?
I think numbers of calendars of service provider.
No, I'm sorry. The first one is the country code. 655 is the country code for the SIM cards for South Africa.
But 655 figure numbers that zokuqala zikhuluma ngokuthi eyala eMzansi.
And then the 01, it will be either the 3 mobile network operators it will be either Cellphone, Vodacom or MTN. Right? The 2 digits.
01 uzochaza ukuthi yipi ke i-cellphone provider ngenza ku Vodacom, MTN noma Cellphone.
And the remaining digits will show you on Cellphone, for example, whether it will be a contract phone, identify that subscriber, whether it's a contract phone or a prepaid phone. Right?
Bathi ke lezi number elandelayo ke izona ezokhombisa ukuthi i-cellphone ene contract noma i-cellphone prepaid.
Right. Now 655, the country code of South Africa, we agree. 01, and if you don't agree with me, during lunchtime you can go and check the numbers for those 3. 07 will be Cellphone.
But uma ukuthi uyangiphikisa ngayo uyahlola umuntu isikhathi ukuthi 07 usho ukuthi le number le iku Cellphone.
01 will be Vodacom.
Uthi 01 ke kumele Vodacom.
And then 10 will be MTN.
Manje 10 umele MTN.
Now let me refer you to annexure to Exhibit DD5.
Annexure?
DD5, this annexure.
Yeah, about annexure, what number?
No, the whole annexure. Just go to the front page, for example.
But it's annexure, it stands annexure A, B, C, D. Which one is the key?
This one.
Yeah, but what's the annexure number on there, please, sir? On the bottom.
Oh, annexure 1. Sorry, Lieutenant Colonel. Now, if we look at SIM card 1, that you say the IMSI is 655 10 3527 4924 69. Do you see that?
That's correct.
Auntie Abana, the IMSI 655 10 3527 4924 69. Auntie Abana.
Now, relating and reconciling with what I started with, giving you the MNC, the mobile network code for particular service providers. You've classified that as MTN under the code 10.
That's correct.
Right? But if you look at the section 205, it will be under 01 MTN. If you go back to the section 205 called data call detail, you see that? Now, what I'm suggesting to you is that in this, from the very first start, and that's been my instructions, hence I had to go and research it because I had issues with my instructions because bells were ringing when he tells me this number, the 060-901-6890, we've already said in your evidence in chief in my initial cross-examination as well. He does acknowledge that it's his number, but it's a Vodacom number. And that is confirmed by the MNC in the middle, 655, the 01. It's a Vodacom. It's not an MTN as per your annexure here.
That's correct.
But Joba 609011692 mubheka lapha akhombisa ukuthi Vodacom akafani njengalo ubhalile lapha ukuthi MTN not yebo kunjalo.
Now, if you look, if the telephone cell number, the 609, says this is the number and this is a Vodacom, the section 205 that you obtained, because that will clarify us, where did they come from in terms of the service provider? Is it MTN?
Vodacom.
That's correct.
But here Vodacom 205.
So in essence, your annexure, page 1, annexure 1, when you classified the SIM card 1 as MTN and putting the mobile network code as 10, it was an error on your mistake. Would you agree?
Well, that part, yeah, but I've accidentally put the IMSI at the second number with the same, the IMSI number on SIM card 2 is right there. If you look on that stage, 655-0144-622-9521. So I've had the two numbers I've put wrongly, but there is a SIM card number there, so yes, and that is a Vodacom number, that's correct.
But I number.
Now, let's go to SIM card 2. And I'll tell you in relation to annexure, I think it's 6 and 8, but let me go there before I even... Sorry, this one is missing the other bits of the annexure. But if I may be given a minute. Sorry, my lord, may I confirm with my colleague? If I may be indulged, my lord, is the court process. It looks like I do have the one as well. Yeah, let's go to annexure. Yeah, I've got it. Thank you. Yeah, let's go to annexure 8. That says the Samsung model SM J500F in brackets the linkages with database annexure 8. Are we there?
That's correct.
Yeah, now if you look at the schematic representation or the diagram that is there, in terms of SIM card 2, which is attributed to accused number 2 with number 072-505-7056. There are linkages there. On your right, it will say Fisokuhle Ntuli at Lungisani, and then you say accused number 5 071-595-1239. You see that?
That's correct.
Athi yabona yini lapha usim2 card 2 inamba yakhona 072-505-7056 ukhona uxhumana nale kaFisokuhle Ntuli at Lungisani accused number 5 071-595-1239 athi yabo.
Just for my edification, when you say communication, I mean linkage with database, what are you meaning? Are you meaning it communicated this number in particular, the 071-595-1239? Are you saying that it communicated with the SIM card 2-505-7056?
That's according to the database. That's what I received from Colonel Stein. That's correct.
And umuthi linkages with databases amuthi iqhumana yini naleyo 072-505-7056 athi yebo ngalo nginikile.
But now, in terms of the call data records in respect of accused number 2, the records that are obtained show the 060-901-6890 communicating with this number that is attributed to accused number 5, not the 072-505-7056 communicating with the number of accused number 5. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yes.
I think I'm gonna.
I mean, you can even go to, sorry, Mr. Interpreter. You can even go to the call data records themselves, the section 205 itself.
That's correct.
I think I'm going to section 205.
Now, which one is which, Lieutenant Colonel? Did this number, the 072-505-7056, or the 060-901-6890 communicate with the number attributed to Lungisane, Fisokuhle at Lungisane? Which one is which?
According to the data, that's the section 205, it was 7609016890.
Athi ngiphi number ebiqhumana nale number lena ekaFisokuhle Ntuli ehlungisana athi hayi ngokubhaliwe la 060-901-6890.
Now again in Annexure 8, would I be then correct to say it was an error on your part to say that SIM card 2 with number 072-595-056 communicated with the number attributed to Fiso Ntuli at Lungisana?
That's correct.
Athi ayiphutha ukuthi u0725056096 ikhulumile na number kaLungisana.
Okay. Now we've clarified those issues. There's an issue that I want to clarify so that we are on the same page as I go along with my cross-examination. During all my colleagues' examination of yourself, you've testified that in order to prepare the work that we've done in this case, the request that you've been requested by the investigating team to do, you've had privilege the preview of the database received from Colonel Spain. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Manje uzowenzeke umsebenzi oceliwe ubune data evela ku Colonel Spain wathi yebo.
Now let's break that down so that when I ask you, you mustn't say I didn't do this, it was Spain, I only did this. The database, what are you referring to that you received from Spain?
Okay. My lord, the database is all the numbers, all information is put on a database for analyst notebook of all the different cell phone numbers, contacts, section 205's, cell phone books, everything is on a database. That is to link, like I've done the linkages on the cell phones.
Wonke imniningwane ama-contact, ama-205, ama-cellphone books, konke kunye kufakwa kuyona le database.
Let us reduce it to its simple form so that I can't put something that you haven't done and attribute it to you. Colonel Stein has already testified, and the raw data that is analyzed involved the people that were in the house at the time of the incident on the 26th of October 2014. That was the section 205 of those persons. Did you have access to that?
No, my lord.
I think I'm section 205 alabantu atu Colonel Stein watu alabantu abekhona endlini ngalelo langa wathola ukuthi cha.
Were you informed by Brigadier Geninda, because you need to do a holistic analysis? I do understand that you were only assisting with the number that allegedly was obtained from accused number 2 at Villaria on the 7th of February 2021, and the number also allegedly obtained from accused number 5 at Kalakwabusha prison. I can't recall the date, but you were only assisting with respect to that, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
But as an analyst, in order to get a holistic picture, did you have or look at the information regarding the call detail records of the people in the house? Because it comes to the question that you were grappling with my learned colleague, Mr. Mgomezu.
My lord, I never had information about that. That was not part of my scope. I'm just an analyst. I'm not an investigation officer. I get instructed what to do. Go look at this and this and this, and this is what the investigation officer needs. If he told me I must import or put the other data of the other people with, it would have been on my statement. I was instructed. It's a specific instruction that was given by the investigation team. It's not that I've done it out of myself.
Angisenzelanga lokho bengikwenza ngoba njengomhlaziyi ngiyatshela ukuthi ngifanye ngenze lokhu nalokhu nalokhu. Kube ngitshele ukuthi angenze nalokhu kube bengizoke ngikwenzile.
Because it emanates from, my question emanates from your use of the term, the work, the analysis work that you were required to do was handed over to you because Lieutenant Colonel Stein was going on pension or retirement. So the concept of handing over is what I need us to clarify, because, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes?
If, I mean, let's take it out of the context of this case. If I'm an IO detective and I go on retirement and my colleague must take over, inherit my docket because it hasn't been finalized in the courts. Amongst other things, he visits the SAP5 diary, right, to see where the investigations are and where he needs also to proceed. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Athi umuntu manikezelana umsebenzi nomunye ngoba lo ukhanisirwa ya umhlala phansi lo thatha ufanele abheke lapha ku SAP5 ukubona ukuthi manje umsebenzi ufike phathi yebo kula kunjalo.
But in order to now familiarize himself with the investigations, he need to go back and see the statements that have already been obtained, familiarize himself with that, because it is an interlinked investigation. It's not a staccato type of investigation. Correct?
My Lord, just want to just clarify, I'm not the investigation officer,
yes.
So I don't need to go back on an investigation. Yes. I worked on what data that's given to me, not investigation statements or evidence. Yes. Data that was given to me on section 205, and that's what I analyze. Or data that's been from Cellphone downloads, that's how I do analysis on. By instruction of the investigation officer. If the investigation tells me this is a section 205, I need to look at this specific time, this number, I'll do analysis on that. I've got nothing to do with the other part of the investigation. That's the investigation team. I'm just the analyst on the Cellphone data.
Ngiyomhlazike anginawo umsebenzi ukuthi ngiyobheka ukuthi uphenyo luhamba kanjani. Engifanye ngikwenze nje mina ngenza lokho engitsheliwe. Uma ngitshele ukuthi nasi 205 bheka ukuthi kwenzekeni ngesikhathi esithize, ngithatha lezo sikhathi lezi nginikwe zona bese ngiyabheka ukuthi kwenzweni ngalezo ikhathi ukuthi uphenyo luhamba kanjani akukona okwami lokho.
So perhaps it doesn't matter of linguistics to say you were handed over some database from Colonel Stein, because you never referred to that. So you started de novo with the numbers that you are given in respect of accused 2 and 5.
I didn't know anything about this case when I started.
Yes.
I had no knowledge about this case. I was just contacted because Colonel Stein, because of the knowledge of my analysis, I was contacted to assist Colonel Stein because he's going on pension.
Mina ngingazi lutho ngaleli cala leli, kodwa ke nginikwe lo msebenzi ngibona ukuthi nangikhese uKolonel Stein usiya kumhlala phansi, so engibengikwenza ngale data enginikiwe.
Now let's go to the particular analysis that you did in respect of accused number 2 for the number that you analyzed.
Yes.
And just to refresh, at the beginning of your evidence and also in cross-examination, especially by myself, I asked you this question, that you were informed that the phone that you analyzed, the number that you analyzed, the device thereof, was obtained or taken from accused number 2 upon his arrest. That was, it's also part of your affidavit exhibit DD5.
No, it was found in his possession in February in the cells, not during his arrest. It was found in the cells during February.
Yatholakala le phone kuyena ngomhla ngoFebruary esemaseleni, hayi ngalesi sikhathi eboshwe.
Colonel Stein, I'm going to, Colonel Host, I'm going to tell you that you are now adapting your evidence. And let me read for you paragraph 6 of exhibit DD5. It says, do you have it in front of you?
Yes.
According to the request, the phone was found in possession of accused, Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi, in brackets, accused number 2, during his arrest.
Yes.
I can read it further. I was for completion purposes, because it's irrelevant for my question. I was requested to prove any communication between the accused and other accused in this matter, and to determine if any photos, contact numbers, SMS, WhatsApp messages can be linked to the accused. This is your.
That's correct.
And it doesn't mention any adaptation about being found 6 February story.
That's correct.
But here, why I go call that commission to then go to the phone at 6 February.
So why are you changing now to say February 6 and it was found somewhere?
This was given to me that it was found during the arrest, my lord, so.
So which one is which? Because you were trying to adapt your evidence until I showed you this paragraph.
It's during his arrest. I don't know what date was he arrested. So
I'm coming to that. Thank you, I'm coming to that. Accused number 2 was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 in Freedom Park, Rustenburg, where he was based, and he was working at Impala Mine, Impala Platinum.
Okay.
And he has testified, and this version has been put to Sergeant Mohane, that upon his arrest, 2 phones were seized, confiscated from him by both the arresting officers, that is Sergeant Mohane and Sergeant Mabena.
Okay. Yes.
I'm waiting for the interpreter so that I can't be long.
16 June, Freedom Park, umsolwa waboshwa esemayini la esenza khona impala mine, kuthiwa ke lapha kwatholakala amafoni amabili kuyena ethathwa uSergeant Mohane noSergeant Mabena ngesikhathi eboshwa.
And the 2 phones were the following. One was this J5 Samsung. We acknowledge that it is ours. We are not disputing that.
J5 Samsung asiphikisi ukuthi kwakuyethu.
The other one, and we'll see it, although it's not really visible on the photos that amongst the extract of the photos in annex DD5, your affidavit. It's a white phone that belonged to accused 2 sister. He took it from KwaZulu-Natal in order to come and fix it this side because the screen was freezing. So it's that phone and the Samsung J5. Both phones were taken by the 2 arresting officers.
Telefoni ke mhlophe ya kwakukade dobo umsolwa. Wayelethe lapha ezoyilethela ukuthi izolungiswa. Nayo ke yathatha.
Just for clarification, I'm just being corrected. The phones were obtained at Rustenburg during his arrest.
So amafoni athathwa kuyena ngesikhathi eboshwa eseRustenburg.
Now, for context purposes, because I need to be fair to you as well, Sergeant Mohane came and testified in this court. And when he testified initially, when this version was put to him, that he seized to him and Mohane, Mabena, the late, because the other one is deceased. When it was put to him initially, it was just a bare denial that we did not receive any cell phones on accused number 2 during his arrest.
Can't comment on it. I didn't hear his testify.
Angikwazi-ke ukuthi ngiphawule ngalowo ngoba ngizange ngimuzwe eletha ubufakazi.
After the trial, within a trial, he was recalled. Then, lo and behold, an affidavit comes. He says, on this day, on the 7th of February, 2021, Mabena, the deceased, received information to the effect that accused number 2 is in possession of a phone in Villaria. Right? I'm waiting.
ke umsolo wesibili kuthiwa wayene cellphone eVelaria ngoba lokhu kuvela ngoba umufi uSergeant Mabena mhla 7 kuFebruary 21 wabhala kanjani.
And that him and the deceased Mabena then attend upon Valeria police station, go to the cells where accused number 2 is, request the cell phone from accused number 2, then accused number 2 gives him this Samsung J5. That is for contextual purposes. What I'm just showing you is these sort of adaptations and embroidery, tailoring. Because at first he never said initially during the main trial that no, by the way I did, and Mabena went and obtained the phone on the 7th, and then on the 8th we take it to TSU Middleburg for analysis. It was just a mere denial.
As a quick question, I don't see how that can be
this witness was not
characterized as an adaptation.
That's fine, it's fine.
Firstly, it must be borne in mind that Sergeant Mokhane firstly testified in the trial within a trial, which was about the voluntariness of the statement or the admissibility of the statement made by the accused, and later on he then came and testified on the merits.
My Lord, I'll withdraw that question from the witness because he cannot. It's neither here nor there. Okay.
Because he says he was given these devices to analyze. Never told that, hey, we picked up this underneath the bridge or whatever.
I wish he had said so. Now let's go to this cell phone and track the movement of this phone, right? Because yesterday you said that you saw the to and the throwing as to him saying, my landlord colleague saying it was found on accused number 2 in Villera, and I saying the opposite, that it was found initially on the 16th. Now I need us to trace the movement of this phone, and we will refer, I know some of the evidence you are not here in court, but it's off record, and if I put something to you, I would not be misleading you. My learned colleague is here, the court is here to correct me as well if I put the wrong version to you. The AVL evidence was led in this case by Mr. Dupree of C-Track, and we will try to correlate that movement of the phone with the AVL record, right?
Right, my lord.
Now, as a status, and I'm not saying you must agree with it, accused number 1 says, since the 16th of June 2020, that phone has never been returned to him upon his arrest. So far as he knows, it's still in the possession of the police.
Accused 1 or accused 2?
Sorry, Colonel. Thank you for correcting me. Accused number 2.
Okay, you stated like that?
Yes.
Uthe umsolo wesibili kusukela mhla 16 kuJune 2020 ayikazi kuye ifone athumeshwa njalo ayikhuluma.
Perhaps, Colonel, let me drink from your fountain of knowledge. Prior to you becoming a data analyst dealing with various devices, extractions, and all of that, you were also a decorated detective, correct?
Uthe ungaqale ukusebenza ngokuhlaziya ama-cellphone wawumseshi wathi yebo.
Now let's start at the scene. You are going to a suspect's house, you find the suspect, and your intention is to arrest him. What is the protocol before you bring the suspect into your police vehicle?
You must search him.
Uthe umuntu meyoboshwa into yokuqala enziwayo engakafakwa evenini ukuthi ufanele aseshe.
Thank you, Colonel. And if you search the suspect, any object, device that you find on the suspect What do you do with that device object?
You book it into, you confiscate it and you put it into evidence.
Uthi umthola noma yini kumsola uthatha bese uyayibhuka.
And say, for example, in the case of a cell phone, because we are dealing with a cell phone here, you know that the offense for which you are investigating may also involve cell phone evidence. What is the protocol of handling a cell phone from the scene?
You switch it off.
Athi yini ofanele yenze umuthale i-cellphone lapho phakhona umuntu uthi uqala nje ukuyicima.
Now, we've admitted the evidence yesterday without going into the details, and it's not my intention to do so. I'll refer you, there's an exhibit which is Pretoria North, because accused number 2 is arrested in Rustenburg and then is then transported to Pretoria North, where he's held in custody on the 16th and the 17th of June 2020, right? And there's an entry, it's exhibit MM, it's of record, you may not be aware of it, but I'm putting it for contextual and background purposes. There's an entry at 2242, exhibit MM, which is an extract from the Pretoria North occurrence books in the cells. And it says, in transito, Detective Sergeant Mokhane of National Cold Case Unit with 1 male suspect on Nongoma Cas 163, 10 of 2018, in brackets 1, Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi, SAP 1464 of 6 of 2020, SAP 14A, the Notice of Rights, 512-66-765, I'm sorry. Time of arrest is 2100. That means he was arrested at 9 o'clock in Rustenburg.
Kuthiwa lapha kukhona i-exhibition MM la kubhaliwe ngesikhathi sika-2242 ukuthi ise-Pretoria North i-occurrence book lena ebhaliwe ukuthi msola-ke waboshwa ngesikhathi sika-9.
And now you arrive at the police station, you are bringing the suspect in that you've arrested, the booking process is done. What then happens to the accused before he's taken to the cells?
Manje kwenzekani-ke ngomsola engakathathwa isomeseleni mese eboshiwe?
I don't understand the question, my lord.
Say, for example, let me put it bluntly. Do the cell masters also search the suspect to make sure that he does not come into the cells with any contraband, prohibited substances or objects? Is that done?
Supposed to be, yes.
Manje kuyasashwa umuntu mengangena emaseleni ukwenzela ukuthi angabe ephethe lutho olungafanele abaluphathe. Kodwa wasithi umephendula wathi yebo kufanele kwenzeke kanjalo.
Okay. Now, if I don't it's here, sorry. It's here. Now, I want us to look at the AVL record, and I want you to take into context these call data records because, like I said, the purpose mainly is to show who was in possession of the cell phone at all relevant times from the 16th of June 2020 until it was allegedly found on accused number 2 on the 7th of February at Villeria, SAPS by Mokhane and Mabena. We start on the 16th of June. If we may go to your the call data records, Lieutenant, please. Right, you will see that from the 17th of June 2020 at 18:01 45 seconds. The phone now registers at the 3G Pretoria North NGA. Do you see that?
That's correct.
But I want to mhla 17 June 2020 so ngo 18:01:45 phone le ikhombisa ukuthi ise Pretoria North kule ndawo lena cellphone tunnel to 3G Pretoria North NGA. What here?
And it will ping or register on that network until the message stays safe at 18:02:46. That's the same tower.
That's correct, my lord.
But I want to tell you the towers you feel is 18:02. What here, Bunja?
Now, just to go back and then I'll go forward. We already now know that on the 16th already, accused number 1 from 22:11 p.m. is in custody in Pretoria North. The background that I gave you. Now, what surprises me, in fact, let me say I'm not surprised. I am happy to see this phone pinging at Pretoria North Tower, because obviously, for obvious reasons, accused number 2 is already incarcerated in that police station.
I think I told you the phone line imkhombisa ukuthi Pretoria North Tower ngoba beseboshiwe.
But in terms of the protocol that you and I understand, this phone shouldn't be pinging any tower because it's supposed to be switched off at this point in time. Would you agree?
That's correct.
Athi vumela nami ukuthi le phone le ngendlela enisenza ngayo bisifanele icishiwe ingasafanele ikwazi ukuthola amathawa athi yebo kunjalo.
I don't think
When are we getting to this evidence?
that is fair to put to the witness, because Sergeant Mohani denied that they confiscated the phone.
Yeah.
Now, the proposition is put as if the phone was confiscated, and that might perhaps mislead the witness.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my learned friend is doing that.
But this witness, if somebody has transgressed or infringed the protocols, how would he know? And how does it assist this court?
Let's
leave
it, madam. Right. And then let's go to the, in fact, let me put it this way, for contextual purposes as well. Sergeant Mohani and Sergeant Mohola both testified in this court that on the 17th of June, they interviewed accused number 2 in the cells at Pretoria North SAPS.
Sergeant Mohani nomkhona bathi bakhulumisana nomsolwa wesibili ngomhla 17 uJune kuJune ebesePitori.
That's not correct. Firstly, it's only Sergeant Mohani who testified that, not Mohola, and he testified that it was in the boardroom, not in the cells.
Just before the boardroom meeting.
Let me clarify it, my lord. My colleague is partly correct. Mohola testified that she only arrived towards the end of the meeting.
But where are you getting to with this evidence?
My lord,
because this witness,
yes,
this evidence is clear. He's given the disc and the PFD in a sealed envelope to say analyze the information. He does that. What happened prior? He can't testify to that.
Okay. All right.
If Mohola, Mahano, or Mabena broke or breached the protocols of the police, how does it help you?
Okay. Now let's go to, in particular, this number, the 060. 901 6890. In relation to your evidence in Exhibit 5B and 5C, your testimony is that this accused 2 communicated firstly with accused number 5 on the number 071 595 1239.
That's correct.
Lapha ke exhibition 5B no 5C uthe wena umsolo wesibili ukhulume nomsolo wesihlanu ngenamba 0715951239 osethi yebo.
Now, accused number 2 will tell this court that prior to the 26th of October 2014, he did not know accused number 5.
Umsolo wesibili uzothi kungafika usuku lukamhla 26 October 2014 wayengamazi umsolo wesihlanu.
I can't comment on it, my lord. I don't know.
Ayemphawule kuloku angazi lutho.
In respect of accused number 3, according to your analysis in both affidavits, you did not find any communication between accused number 2 and 3. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But ehlazini wakho zongithola ukuxhumana phakathi kamsolo wesibili nomsolo wesithathu othi yebo kunjalo.
Accused number 2 will tell the court that it is so that you didn't find that communication because at that time he did not know accused number 3 at the time of this incident on the 26th of October 2014.
Athi umsolo wesibili uzothi hayi ye kunjalo ngoba yena nomsolo wesithathu babengazani lungafiki lolu suku kamhla 26 of 2014.
Furthermore, with respect to accused number 4, did you find any communication between accused number 2 and 4 in the analysis that you performed?
Watholile yini ukuxhumana kamsolo wesibili nomsolo wesine ehlaziyeni kwakho?
No, my lord.
Zangithole.
Accused number 2 will then tell the court that it is unsurprising because at the time of the incident on the 26th of October 2014, he did not know accused number 4 as well.
Athi umsolo wesibili uzothi yena akumangalisi lokho ngoba lungafiki usuku lukamhla 26 October 2014 yena wayengamazi umsolo wesine.
And then accused number 2 will further tell the court that he met accused number 3, 4, 5 for the first time at the Boksburg Magistrates Court on the first appearance of this matter, the very exact matter before this court. He met them in Boksburg when it appeared in the lower courts.
Umsolo wesibili uzothi wabona laba basola 3, 4, 5 eBoksburg enkantolo eqala ke ukuyobingelela imanje mayelana nalolu daba.
Can't comment on that, my lord. I don't know.
Ayangiphawule lutho kuloko ngoba ngasi lutho.
Now, let's go to your exhibit DD5 in brackets B. Are we there? Paragraph 7.3.1.
Yes.
And your evidence in essence, let me read from paragraph 7.3.1. You say, during cross-examination, it was put to me by counsel for accused number 2, Bongani Sandi Isontanzi, that client was not in possession of Samsung model SMJ 005/D as with IMEI numbers 3532 90085 098895 and IMEI 3532 9108 509 889 when pictures were edited as per original statement dated 16/04/2024, that is Exhibit DD5, and then in brackets pages 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. And according to the data, the pictures were accessed and edited on 2021 how do I read this?
2021-01-04.
So that is the 4th of January 2020. Okay.
Njengalokubhalwe lapha ithombe lezi zalungiswa mhla 4 January 2021.
7.3.2 screenshot of status as per original statement dated 2024-04-16 in brackets Exhibit DD5 reference to in brackets page 19. 7.3.3 photo that was taken on 2020-10/29 of newspaper article about current case as per original statement dated 2024-04-16 in brackets Exhibit DD5 reference page 20 in brackets. Picture was accessed and edited on 2021-01-11. You see that?
That's correct.
And then you say the section 205 data placed Bongani Ntanzi near cell tower 3G Queenswood NGA, that is 220 meters from Valeria SAPS.
That's correct, my lord.
And there's a picture there, I don't know what it depicts, but I'm not interested in it in any event. What I'm interested in is the following. This one that says section 205 data placed Bongani Ntanzi near Cellphone tower. What is the basis of you saying that the tower placed the accused there?
Because the tower is 150 meters from Valeria police station. That's the nearest tower that was picked up by the Cellphone.
But in terms of solar Ntanzi lapho ukuthi le tower lena iseduze kakhulu kumele samapholisa seValeria.
According to the section 205, not according by me.
Akusho mina kusho section 205.
You see, Colonel, the problem now becomes this. You remember the cross-examination of my learned colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu, when he put it to you that accused number 3 was not in Flores at the time of the commission of the offense. And your response was, you cannot say that accused number 3 was not there. You can only say that the device. You understand that?
So the device was, okay. If you put it to me, the device was in the cells where the accused was also, because this was 220 meters from the cells. So somebody else's phone that was in the cells?
Yes.
Is that what you...
Yes, because the problem becomes when you try to put ready-made inferences by saying a particular person, because he was 220 meters away from this tower, you can now, through the data record, say it is exactly this person that was 220 meters away editing these pictures. You see the problem?
As a practice, it's a fact that accused number 2 was incarcerated at Villara police station.
That's not disputed, Mr. Ramosipiti. You also admitted that your client was inside the cells at Valeria.
Yes, I do.
So what's the problem? Now I argue the fact that it was not a cell or what, because the facts show that accused number 2 was arrested and incarcerated at Valeria, which is 150 or 200 meters away from that tower post. I mean, please. So, unless you say what your client was in Rustenburg or Phuket or wherever, Natal or wherever, but you yourself, you say your client was incarcerated in Valeria, and that pole is 200 meters, is it?
220 meters, my lord.
220 meters from the cells. So what are we getting at, please?
My lord, you see, what is good for the gander must also be good for the geese.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. The state cannot in one instance, they say, no, only the device was here, but the person may have been somewhere else.
Yes, they can't say that. But in this case, according to you, your client was in Valeria.
Yes.
According to you.
Yes.
That's it. So what are we arguing about?
My Lord, perhaps, you see, my Lord, at times, and I'll have to join Mr. Mgomezulu's sentiment, I'm not that kind of a person. My Lord has got a tendency to be impatient. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I had to take my Lord.
Look, if I'm wrong,
yes,
I admit, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you yourself, you said your client was at Valeria, and said, unless you say he was not there, fine. Then I withdraw everything.
Because the other evidence that we need to hear, and that's been the trend, we need to hear it from the clients. Instead of the court saying, did you say so? Because he's going to say yes, because the court is validating that answer for the witness.
No, I'm not. Just quoting the evidence, as you have admitted.
We are part of this evidence, my Lord. We read the same evidence, we hear the same evidence that His Lordship is hearing. My Lord, it's 1 o'clock. May we take a longer agenda?
And this witness, he can't know where your client was. He can only testify about the device. But me, having listened to you putting the assertions, you said your client was at Valeria. And when Mojano says he got the phone at Valeria, you said, so your client, he is not telling the truth. That's all.
That's the court basis.
So now I'm being excoriated for quoting the evidence.
No, let's take the long adjournment.
Yes, Mr. Ramasepi.
That's the court basis, my Lord, I'm indebted. Can we resume?
Yes.
I'm going to request you to go to the section 12.5 call data records for accused number 2.
Yes, what date, my Lord?
And then specifically, let's go to December 2020.
What date in December, my Lord?
Let's go to December, because I need to show you before the dates on which you say if you can have it built here, because I want my client to have access to
sorry.
If we go to December, because this document has already been admitted in terms of Section 220 of the Criminal Procedure Act. The tower throughout December, you see it pings Queenswood, but there's a stage where for about some days it pings Palmer Flats. Have you seen that?
Just check quickly, what date?
In December, it's a stretch of about is that the whole of December?
It's on busy of December.
Okay.
My Lord, can I get a copy of the exhibit, maybe?
My Lord, if I may consent. Yeah.
Thank you very much. 18 December, my lord.
From
18 December, page 81.
you see this, that stretch, if you can read it where it starts being at Palmer Flats, the date and the time, until it leaves Palmer Flats cell tower.
It started in the Palmer Flats, 3G Palmer Flats, NGA, 18 December 2020, 17:39:50, and it stays in the Palmer Flats area. Till 20 December 2049:39 at 20 December 2020 at 2049:39. That's on page 82, my lord, fourth line from the top, it stops, and it starts 18th line from the top on page 81.
Tiyakubona ukuthi noma le number lena ibithula esikhathini esiningi 3G pins with NGA kuleyo tower leyo, kodwa kusukela mhla 18 December 1839:50 iyabonakala ukuthi iqhumana ne-tower i-Palmer Flats ukuyofikela mhla ka-20 kuDisemba isikhathi 2049:39.
Okay, and I'm being told by my learned colleague, all thanks to them. Again, if you go to page 70 of that exhibit.
70.
No, that's fine. So sorry, it's my misunderstanding. It's fine. Leave page 70 alone. Now you see, Colonel, with our denial that the phone was in the possession of accused number 2 at the time, per your analogy, 3G Queenswood is 220 meters from Valeria SAPS, correct?
That's correct.
And 3G Queenswood is said to use a Valeria out here.
And if you know where this Palmer Flats cell tower is, do you know that?
No, my lord.
At Palmer Flats, cell tower in
And can I ask something, Colonel? And this is just for clarification because I'm not an analysis expert. I'll use it in my future cases. When you are given an extraction that has been extracted from a device, a phone, laptop, whatever, a tablet, whatever, and it comes to you, are you also request part of your duties to look at the relevant towers as to their location, or is that the duty of another person from the service provider?
Yes, it's my duty, but I was looking at the specific date when the photos was edited, and that's why I was picking up Queenswood where he was in the cells. Okay. I wasn't looking at other dates.
Umsebenzi wami uthi ngibheke ukuthi leyo tower leyo khulunywa ngayo ilaphi, kodwa ke lana bengibheka izinsuku ezithize, yikho amehla amabethe nje kulezo insuku lezi ezinye bengasibiki.
Yeah, then let's move on, but I'm moving on by going back to your evidence in respect of when he testified initially, because remember, when he testified, I specifically stated on record that I'm not going to ask you anything until I've seen the section 205, so I didn't touch this aspect, which is, you testified that when you received the 2 SMSs, the 2 SIM cards and SD card, the device itself, which is the cell phone, was not analyzed because it was password locked or pattern code locked. Is that correct?
That's correct. The device itself was not yet. That's correct, Mama.
Now, when you testified and you stated that the SIM card 1, which you attributed to the mobile service provider MTN with number 2760901680, did not have any contact list but the following. You only retrieved from that SIM card the please call me to the number that my client tells me is the girlfriend's number, and also a message from Standard Bank regarding a transaction on the 24th of December 2019 in Kwanongom.
That's correct, my lord.
And your testimony is that the SIM card with data and contact list was SIM card 2, which you say the mobile service provider is Vodacom/Cell-C with number 2772-5057056, correct? Now, where is the analysis for this number with those contacts? Where is the analysis for section for 072-5057056? Because what we have before court here, in contrast to your initial evidence, we've got 060-901-66890 with the contacts.
That's correct, my lord. I didn't receive a section 205 for the other number.
Director, ngitholanga section 205 yalenye inumber.
Now, these contacts, the ones that, because obviously it will be the subscriber calling other persons. These persons that you have as annexure 3, annexure to exhibit DD5. Annexure 3, it's this contact list in page 6, 7, 8, 9. Where do they come from?
Is that the numbers?
Yes, these contact numbers. Where did you get them from? From the 060 number or the 072 number?
From the 07, just check here. Just want to get the right question here. The context was on the SIM card of 277250570056.
Wathi-ke ama-contact la atholakala kule number iqala ngo-072 kungeyona le iqala ngo-060.
But the IMSI number is this number. So all the information was given to me wrong that this is the cell phone number, but the IMSI number is the same as this number, my lord. But yeah, it was found in that SIM card.
But the IMEI number iyafana kuhlukana nje kuhlukana i-SIM card number.
I'm lost, Kenneth. Your explanation, I'm in the bush now.
In the bush. Okay. So, SIM card, if you look at paragraph 15 of DD5, says SIM card 2, Vodacom shall see IMSI 66014446229521. Then the phone number was given to me as 072-2505-7056, and then the contacts Excel Annexure 3. Coming from IMSI with the IMSI number 6550114429521. That's where the contacts were found on my list.
Okay, number ngayinikwa ine SIM card 0609016890. Kodwa ke inamba engayinikwa ileka 072. Okusho ukuthi uma ngibhekala ngaphakathi IMS number ke eyayingala khona kuleyo phone 0655014446229521.
Okay, now, because there's this discrepancy here that we talked about earlier with the IMSI,
Yes.
which IMSI is supposed to be related to the court data records that are in front of court as we speak.
655-011-622-9521.
The record is sorted to 65-5014-4462-29-521.
Okay. Now, in respect of that number, the 072-505-75, sorry. The 072-505-7056, and I've already stated to you that accused number 2 denies that that is his number, and in fact, let me go to that now so that we clear it right away. He will tell the court that when he was arrested and his phones confiscated in the Samsung J5, there were 2 SIM cards because the phone was dual SIM.
That's correct, yes.
And the SIM cards that were inserted in that device were a Vodacom and an MTN SIM card, similarly to what you've written here, right, in Annexure 1. However, the difference is this. As we've seen now with the mobile network code, that the code that is appropriate for the call records in respect of 060-901-6890 should be the one that you've attributed to SIM card 2.
That's correct, my lord.
Wathi ngesikhathi eboshwa ke kule phone lena iSamsung JS5 phone ekwazi ukuthatha amakhadi amabili njengoba sibonile ukuthi ibinekhadi la Vodacom nelaka MTN. Manje kumehluko ukuthi ke lapha ku le phone iSIM card ebikhona bekusi 0609016890 ebonala iSIM card yesibili.
Now, he will state the following to the court, accused number 2, that the numbers that he had, we've already acknowledged the 060901 6890 as the Vodacom number. He acknowledges that that was his number, but it is a Vodacom, not an MTN.
That's correct, my lord.
Athe uzothi ngomsolosibili le number le enye 0609016890 kuyi number yakhe ye Vodacom athi yebo kunjalo.
And the second number that was inserted there in, and it's an MTN number. It's 065657 7733.
Tike number ya MTN efike lapho kweyesibili 0656077733.
Okay, sorry, man, I'm mixing the middle number. Let me take instructions. Thank you, Madam. That's it. The number, sorry, correct that one. It's 065 567 7733.
Tike number ekuyiyona 065 567 7733.
And he states that both SIM cards had contact lists in them, and both also had the WhatsApp inserted on them because he used that for communication as well.
Tike womabili ke lama SIM card ane WhatsApp futhi womabili ayena nohlu lwabantu abangaphakathi efonini abangafonele.
Now, there's an issue, but I raise it because we are dealing with cell phones. Amongst the issues that were before court were bank statements. I know that they don't deal with you, but I only deal with just one aspect in respect of a cell number. He will tell the court that he has a Standard Bank account, and initially when he opened this account, the cell number provided to the bank that he used was 073 776 1556.
Just repeat that number, please.
I will certainly. 073 776
Yes, hello.
1556. And that he then later on attended upon a branch in Rustenburg to update his profile, and the profile for Standard Bank should now reflect, because that's the number that he updated to, is 060-901-6890, the one that is on the call data records here.
Noted, my lord.
I think ngiyabona kokune number leyo 0737761596 ayisenzisa kodwa ke ngoba ke washintshela kule number 0609016890 wayebekhola ukuthi ay Standard Bank sase Rustenburg ayoshintsha ukuze ifuna ukubonakala ukuthi ayisebenzisayo yipi.
Now there's a further number that is attributed to accused number 2, and that number there's also Section 205, call data records obtained. If we can go to that, the 076-264-8640.
I think I only got it in Excel format. I don't think I've done it in a PDF format yet. Can I go to the Excel format? Can I do it on the Excel format?
Let's qualify that. And my qualification will be, and I don't want anybody in this court to misconstrue me or misunderstand me as saying that you have cooked, you have fried, you have altered, edited, all those words. But I'm just saying this before you go to the Excel format. When the TSU, the Technical Support Unit of the SAPS, receives the phone records from the mobile network operators, in what format are they?
PDF, my lord.
Amaphoyisa ke ethola umbiko mayelana nokusetshenziswa kwefoni uba ungalolu hlobo lwe-PDF.
Is a PDF format file, can it be altered or manipulated?
Not really, my lord, but technology nowadays don't know, but not supposed to be.
Ifile ye-PDF ayilungiseki noma uguqulwa, kodwa ke zikhona indlela esezikhona kulamalanga zokuthi ungakwazi ukuyiguqula.
But once it is in Excel form and once you open it, we can clearly prove that the Excel format is easily edited, manipulated, and altered. Is that correct?
Correct, my lord.
Excel ayikuyabonakala ukuthi ngashintsha yona noma inini.
Now let's go with that qualification. Let's go to that one, the 076-264-8460. I just want the tower locations for the 16th, 17th.
th 17th of?
That will be 2020.
What day?
Yeah, 2020.
2020, what day?
Sorry?
What month?
The 16th of June.
16th of June. There's only 3 entries, my lord.
Mhla 16 of June ngiyabonakala ngathi kubhalwe imigqa emithathu kuphela.
Okay, and let's then look at the tower location of the 3 transactions.
So at 01:57:29, that was during the night, and 02:07, the cell phone was switched off. Oh no, there's a Impala 3G Impala Platinum NGA 93. The second one, there was no cell phone tower, undefined. And then there was a SMS received at 06:54:01, and the cell tower was 3G Impala Platinum NGA 93.
So 157 yayiqhumene ne-Impala Platinum itower ngosikhathi 7 minutes past 2 ayikubonakala ukuthi akuchazi ukuthi ehlangene naye Peter kodwa ngo-654 iyabonakala ukuthi iphinda ibonakala indaba ngaphansi kwe-Impala Platinum.
Do you want to place it on record as an exhibit if I refer to it? It's on record. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now, before we even, because I just want to come to reconcile these call data records with the ones for 060 in respective of those few towers, because I don't want to go through Papahai, I chew gum. I just want to do those simple ones only. This device, this section 205, from which device was the SIM card, or let me start here. How did you obtain these call data records?
Through sections, through the investigation team, Brigadier Ganinda applied for this number, my lord.
The Brigadier Ganinda applied with actually section 205
okay.
phone.
And because I don't see the device from which the SIM card was inserted into, would you perhaps in a position to enlighten us?
No, my lord, I don't know from which phone does it come. It's just a SIM card. It's not a SIM card, it's a cell phone number.
Oh.
So that was given to me by the investigation team, and they gave me the section 205 for this number. So I don't know in which phone was this number used.
Section 205 angazi ukuthi ayisetshenziswa kuyiphi ifoni.
Just that word here, Colonel, you seem to have lost me again a bit. Are you saying, and this is for my edification, I'm not casting any aspersion or making any negative inference. Are you saying with the MSISD and the cell number, can you go to the service provider with the subpoenas and say, kindly give me the section 205 on this number without the device or the SIM card?
Yes, my lord.
Oh, okay.
Uyakwazi ukuthi uyophethe number nje uyocela ukuthi cela section 205 kuleyo number nanoma ungayiphethe iSIM card nanoma ungayiphethe ifoni.
Now, for that comparison that I want and the reconciliation between the call data records for 060-901-6890 and 076-264-8640, with respect to the first tower location, we will see that both are is at the Impala cell tower.
Just check quickly, my lord. Just want to. (0655), it was in Impala, Platinum 3, NGA3, that's correct, my lord.
065539, yes, Impala.
And that's on number 27609-016890, and then on the other number 27762648460. It was also in the platinum area at 065401 on 2020 0616. the 3G Platinum, Impala Platinum NGA3.
Jana ilenye ifoni yabonakala ukuthi ayiseduze sempala platinum ngalelo la.
Now, if we go to the date of the 17th of June in respect of both again, the 060 901 6890 and 076 264 8640. And I'm also looking only at the commonalities between the tower locations
From what time, my lord?
let's start with
Which one are we going to start with?
on the 17th of June, the one that pings or registers on the Pretoria North, all of Pretoria North.
This will be this one. But it only starts at 1801 in Pretoria North.
1801 in Pretoria North.
1801, that's correct.
Okay.
Here it is. Figure. There's that entry.
Yes, I see that.
Ati 060901689 ngo-1801-47 ibitholakala ePitoli umhla ka-17 kuJune 2020.